Hello and welcome to GTO Coach and Go. I'm Jim Delleman with Group Travel Odyssey. I want to thank you for joining us again today. And before we get started on today's topic, I'm going to remind you, as I always do, if you've not done so yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button down below. And if you ring the bell, you'll be notified anytime we have new content on our YouTube channel. You can also connect with us on LinkedIn at Group Travel Odyssey, and make sure to like the Group Travel Odyssey Facebook page as well. Well, today we're going to go through and give you some information about one of the apps that actually is already in existence, but there are always questions as to how you can do things in this specific app. Let me try that again. And this is going to be for Passenger Manager. Today, we're going to go through a review of things that you can do in Passenger Manager. And to help us out, as she always does, our lead engineer, Christina Luth. Christina, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Jim?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. As I was telling people, we're going to be going over basically a review of some of the stuff that you can do in Passenger Manager. And I know that we get a lot of questions about this. I know even when we're doing demos, this is one of the features in Passenger Manager that people really like because it gives them a chance to control everybody who's actually going on the trip. So it's not a matter of it just being the group itself, but you can do things for individuals. But, instead of me talking about it, I figure it's probably going to be better if I let you go ahead and lead us through this discussion today.
Sure. So ultimately, Passenger Manager, if those of you who are not familiar with it, like Jim said, it's the application that we use in GTO for managing the people actually traveling on your trip. So ultimately, the first thing to note here before I jump in is that, again, the records that you have in this application are people traveling, and you can also track the payments that they've made. So let me jump on over in here. All right. Okay. So I'm on a test trip in Passenger Manager. So the few things I wanted to talk about today are the essential functions that you have available to you using Passenger Manager. If you need further training, please reach out to us in the help desk and we'd be happy to get that scheduled for you. So like I had mentioned, the essential things that are being tracked here in Passenger Manager of the records that you will see, the core to our passengers right here. So here I have a list of passengers traveling. Obviously, this is a test trip, so that's why there's just generic names there. And transactions. So you can also track transactions that are made by those passengers. Now, a lot of you use WeTravel and the integration with that. Just a quick note that if you are using the WeTravel integration and you have met with the engineering team to get it connected, your WeTravel account to the GTO account, that information will automatically come into Passenger Manager. So just to note that if you have not done that and you are using WeTravel, please make sure you put in a help desk and the engineering team can meet with you to get you all connected. All right, so moving into some of the functions here. So first of all, in Passengers, the thing I wanted to note is that you can have just about any kind of report. We have done a lot of coach and goes now over the last few weeks about reports and the options you have there. So we're just taking the same idea and moving it into your passengers. So some common ones that we have seen are like trip insurance or passengers with allergies or maybe a flight manifest. So if I was to click here, passenger allergy report, what it's going to do is it's going to show you all of my passengers that have a dietary need or allergy. So obviously it's removing any passenger that said blank or none for you. So that is what you can find there. Oh, Jim, did that show on that screen?
It did not come up. I thought it was just open. There we go.
There we go. Just had to switch my tabs there. So this is, again, that allergy report where you could see the list of passengers here. So there's about 20 on the trip for this testing environment, and the dietary needs and allergies are listed there for them. So if they have none or blank, it wouldn't show.
Okay, great.
All right, going back over to the trip here. So that is one type of report. Again, you might have something like flight manifest, same kind of idea. This one, let's switched over to this tab, is ultimately going to show you things like their traveler type. So again, adult, student, child, senior, the date of birth, age, and gender. So again, this is, testing information. So some of these might have been entered in without the full fields being filled in, but your passengers would have all of that information like you can see here. So you would have what you need to send to the airline. I know some of you different information to the airlines. And if that is the case, you just need to let us know, and we can help create a report for you that you can access to collect that information and send it over to the airline. And jumping right back, we're going to go a lot of back and forth. All right. So ultimately, those are just some common examples of reports. You might have some other things that you need to keep track of, but these are just the ones that we see the most often. Again, anything you see with a blue link here, so like a hyperlink that you're used to seeing in emails or documentation, this is clickable. So if I wanted to see specifically who is in a quad, I can click this number 14 and it will show me who those 14 people are that had purchased the quad package. So just to note that as well, that is all stuff that you can quickly go to a report and see who is in these types of areas. All right. So that would be our passengers. And then our transactions, just a quick mention that you would have your transactions that are attached to your customer. So the customer, if you have, let's say, a parent and child traveling together, then you would have one customer. So if I go over to here in my customer level, you'll see, well, that's me. So you'll see that I have two people traveling with me. And so the payments are applied here to the customer level. And on this tab, the customer account overview, you will be able to see a total of how much they have paid. So it looks like I'm the one that has all the payments. So that's probably me testing things out. All right. So now the more meatier things that I know that you all are interested in. So we have rooming lists. This is something that a lot of people ask about and has had a great change in that with the group leader portal of how you can manage the rooming lists. So I have two trips open here to show you the different stages of the rooming list process, because otherwise this Coach and Go would last a little bit long. So the first one, I'm going to flip on over to this trip, different testing trip, to show you under the Rooms tab, when you are first setting this up to do a rooming list, ultimately what you will have is this button that says Create Available Rooms. Now, it will show you the number of hotel rooms that has come through Sales Manager and the Trip Manager. But if you don't like that number, maybe you don't want to have 20 rooms that the group leader can fill, you can also override that here. So if I click Edit, and I can override that, let's say maybe I only want 15. Now, when I push Create Available Rooms, after a moment or so, it's going to create those 15 rooms for me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. So it just takes a minute or so, and there we go. So there are the 15 rooms that now I am prepared to tell my group leader that they can fill in those rooms. So at that point, I'm going to quick just show you the group leader portal. We may do a Coach and Go again on a review of the group leader portal since there is more there. Switch on over to the group leader portal. This is your link here. I'm not going to say, since this is recorded, what the password would be for the trip. If you would like to know about a specific trip or how you can get the password for your trips to share with your group leader, please message us directly through the help desk. But just to show you, when you go to the group leader portal, then you can go ahead and log in. You can see my username is my email. Again, a password, just let us know if you have questions. And then your group leader would actually be able to log in with that information, and they would be able to assign those rooms. So this is kind of taking that stress off of you, the planner, of having to put that rooming list together after they've sent you maybe an Excel document or something like that. Of course, you can still log in under the group leader login for the specific trip and put it together that way if you would like to, but we would highly encourage you to share the information with your group leaders so that way they can, give you that information right off the bat. And then when you go to your trip in GTO, it's already done for you and you don't have to duplicate work there. So go back to this trip. All right. And so this is a trip that's at the stage where all the rooms have been assigned. Again, like I just said, we have done a coach and go in the past about the group leader portal. There's a lot to that. So we might do a coach and go to review that in the future, but it was just a little bit too much information to do all of it today. So now we can see that we have passengers assigned to rooms. On this side, you will see those groupings of the room, so who is in each room. And on the right side, you will be able to see the actual rooms themselves grouped by the occupancy type. So you can see I have 3 doubles, 3 quads, and 2 singles. So if at this point you are looking to generate that rooming list, what you can do is there is the 2 buttons here, and then there's one for a document. So this blue one is if you would like a Word document version of the rooming list. And then if you prefer to have a report that can be downloaded into an Excel file, that's what the purple ones are for. So this generate rooms report, if I was to push it, you'll see I have my passengers listed here. And this is just kind of a basic one where it's going to have the, if you had listed a passenger as primary, otherwise it'll show all the people in the rooms. And then you can, again, download that into an Excel file and send that over to the hotel that you're working with. Now, we have also had some people mention they want specific things on that report. So if there is, again, something like that, like I mentioned with Flight Manifest, please let us know, again, through the help desk, and we can get something set up for you where you can generate that report with the fields that you need. And then this one is Disney specific because a lot of the GTO clients have mentioned that there's a specific Disney rooming list. So that is what that button is for, is the fields that we have been told are specific to Disney. All right. So throwing a ton of information out to you there. And then, so one last thing to mention about rooming lists is this create TD and driver rooms button. So I'm going to push it. And it's just going to take a moment or so. I'm going to refresh. It's finished up. All right. So what this button does is it's going to take, jump back up, it's going to take your number of drivers and your number of tour directors, and it's going to add them into your rooming list. So ultimately, if I had, whatever number of drivers and tour directors, I have one of each, it will create those rooms. I'm going to refresh once more. It looks like it was finishing up. So you can see if I scroll to the very bottom that now I have 2 new rooms, one for driver and one for Nancy Drew. That's my tour director. So I must have just done that on the tour director to name that person. And you will also see over here that I have 2 added rooms, room 9 and room 10, that are for my tour director and driver. Important distinction there. Anytime you are adding your driver and tour director, they will not be included in any of the reports that you see for passengers. So like I went over, there is the different package counts and the allergy reports and flight manifests, all of that there. That does not get included for the tour director and driver. So it's only on the reports when it comes to the rooming list.
Okay.
All right. So ultimately, those are our core functions in Passenger Manager. I know in the past we've done coach and goes on some of the more specific features, maybe related to WeTravel. And if you have more questions on that, please, again, let us know. We'll be happy to help you through it. But this is the information that I think applies to most of our users here. Again, the rooming list being something that I know a lot of you are probably getting up to the time where you're going to have to start doing those rooming lists. So hopefully this helps give you some information about what you can do in Passenger Manager with managing those people traveling with you.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, that's fantastic. And I know that, again, there are a lot of features in there. And I know with especially things that are in Passenger Manager, a lot of it seems seasonal, depending upon what market our operators are working in. So I think a little reminder like this every once in a while is going to do them a lot of good. So,
Absolutely.
again, if you have questions, if you need to do that connection between We Travel and your passenger information, again, contact our help desk, help@gtonetwork.com, and put help in the subject line. And the engineering team will be more than happy to get in touch with you and get that set up. So that way you have that automatic connection and you don't have to put everything in manually, which is a big help, a huge help. So just a reminder that GTO Coach and Go does happen every other Tuesday at 2:00 Eastern time. Christina, myself, Corey, several others come on and give you some insight and information on how to use GTO better. Sometimes we're going back and reviewing things. There are times when we tweak the system and change just a couple little things that we want to let you know about, but we take you through and show you how they have been integrated into the routine of the way that GTO works as well. So again, GTO Coach and Go every other Tuesday at 2:00. Christina, we have something else to talk about a little bit today. I know we've teased about that there's something coming up and something that's going to be happening this week with some new presentations and new media. And tomorrow is a big launch, and let's take a little look and see what's going to be happening.
Group Travel Radio is a podcast that brings the world of group travel to you. Tap into conversations that will improve your destination knowledge, spotlight travel trends, and keep you up to date with what's going on in the group travel industry. Listen to Group Travel Radio on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
So there we are. Group Travel Radio will be launching tomorrow. We've got quite a bit of content on there. We do our weekly updates on there. We've got podcasts. We've got some really great content. So any place that you would be listening to a podcast, go on there and look for Group Travel Radio and make sure to subscribe to that. So that way you get updates when we have new content on there. So that's exciting. It's something that I know Stevie's been working on for quite some time as well. So we'll be able to start listening to that tomorrow as well. For any of the Coach and Go sessions that we've done, you can find all of those videos, all of that information on our YouTube channel. And again, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can keep up to date on all of that. It's a great resource for you to have to go back and review. And if you have new people starting at your company as well and you're using GTO, it's a great place for them to go and get a little bit of insight as to how GTO works. So we thank you very much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks when we're going to bring you some more information. Isn't that right, Christina?
We will be back. Yes.
Definitely will. Take care, Christina. Thank you so much for joining again today, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of GTO Coach and Go. We invite you to stay connected with Group Travel Odyssey on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and be sure to check out more of our media, including Destination Dispatch and the Destinations Beyond Expectations podcast. Please visit our website, grouptravelodyssey.com, where you can learn more about GTO and request a demo. Group Travel Odyssey, business without boundaries.